It's a chilly one here at Alumni Park for a game with a little bit of edge to it. Bears baseball welcoming a MASCAC visit from the Fitchburg State Falcons, a team they just defeated yesterday. And FSU will be seeking revenge against one of the best teams in MASCAC baseball. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Bears Sports Network, to all our viewers online and on BTV. I'm Matt Donahue. He's Luke Mansfield. And Luke, these are two teams with two very different records trying to establish themselves in this conference. But this will be quite a revenge game for Fitchburg State.
Yeah, Fitchburg State struggling a little bit this year. 13-12, just over that 500 mark. 4-6 in the MASCAC. The Bears sitting at 22-7, 8-2 in the MASCAC, and they're coming off a 7-game win streak.
Here's your Fitchburg State starting lineup: Matthew Kelly, Matthew Smith, Vincent Aramo, Zach Malik, Nolan Hills, Jacob Harrell, Maxwell Kelly at the top. Matthew Kelly hitting 7th, Devin Lowray hitting the 8th spot, and then Goldstein closing it out for the Rams. Maxwell and Matthew Kelly, of course, brothers. They'll be sharing spots in the batting order today. And on the bump for BSU, one of their premier pitchers, Matt Jocelyn, walks in with a .264 ERA today, 5-2 so far on the season. In 8 appearances, 7 of them starts. He's thrown 6 complete games already this year. He remains the only Bridgewater State pitcher to throw a complete game so far this season. He's somebody that Fitchburg State, or really any team, would have a whole lot of trouble with at the plate.
Matt Jocelyn has been an ace all year for the Bears. He'll be looking to continue his hot streak here today against a struggling Fitchburg State team. Here's
your BSU defense. Out in the pastures, left to right, Jasmine, James, and Watkowski. Around the bags, left to right, Thornell, Lindsay, Emerson, and Molis. And, of course, as we mentioned, Jocelyn on the bump being caught by Matt Pigeon. Here's Maxwell Kelly, posted at 2nd today for the Falcons. And Jocelyn's first pitch of the day, he swings at it right over to Lindsay, who makes the toss to first for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Matt Jocelyn.
And just a routine ground ball over there to Lindsay. And Kelly almost legged that one out. He was just a couple feet shy of getting on base right there.
Here's Matthew Smith with a .250 ERA walking in today. He takes strike 1 called. Matt Smith posted in left today for the Falcons. Jocelyn wasting no time. He rarely does. Swing, and that is foul up the first base line. 0-2. Matt Jocelyn establishing a very speedy pace in just the first 3 pitches of this game. Now a quick little timeout. Smith will take a second. Matthew Smith, a sophomore from Flanders, New Jersey. This Fitchburg State team recruits from a whole lot of different parts of the Northeast. 0-2. The count on Smith right now. Jocelyn would like to close him out. Here's the pitch, and he misses on the outside, ball 1. Matthew Smith, as I mentioned, .250 ERA. Swing, and that is tall, looking like it's going to arc foul, and it does. Off to the right. Count stays 1-2 on Smith.
Smith, good job staying alive down in the count. Working Jocelyn for a couple more pitches.
That one's outside. A little bit low again. Pigeon slid over to grab it, and it's 2-2. These two teams just played yesterday. Another MASCAC win for Bridgewater State. They took that game 7-4 in Fitchburg. Swing, and that one has a little bit of airtime out towards center, and that's going to fall for a base hit. And the Falcons have their first base runner of the day in Matthew Smith.
So with that hit by Matthew Smith, that's going to bring up Vincent Aramo, the catcher. Not often we see a catcher in any level of baseball batting 3rd overall on the order.
No, .356 not ERA, I should say batting average. There's a reason they've got this guy towards the upper tier of the batting order. Jocelyn works inside on him, ball 1. Vincent Aramo from Shirley, Mass., a little bit out west. Northwest, I should say, of the city. Swing, and he belts that one right back to Jocelyn, and the toss to first will secure a double play. Catch him out, throw him out. What a quick little show After half an inning, we remain scoreless thanks to some quick hands by Matt Jocelyn.
Emerson Witkowski and Cam James due up to start things off for the Bears.
Three of the stronger hitters in this unit, although BSU, as we've noted before in previous games, sticking a very strong hitter in Kevin Lindsay at the bottom of the order as well. They like to switch it up on teams, sort of escape convention. And here is that aforementioned starting batting order, as you mentioned. Emerson, Witkowski, and James, the first third, followed by Thornell, Molis, and Daniel Jasmine. Thornell and Jasmine, two freshmen that this team is very keen on. And the bottom third rounded out by Nolan DeAndrade, Matthew Pigeon, and Kevin Lindsay. The man on the bump for Fitchburg State today, Mr. Adam Holney, walks in with an 8.84 ERA. He's looking to trim it down a little bit, and a good performance here would certainly help him improve those numbers. He's 2-2 in 7 appearances, 5 of them starts. 18.1 total frames of work so far this year. Only a freshman from Londonderry, New Hampshire. A guy who certainly has a lot of promise. Not terrible numbers for a first-year pitcher, and certainly looking to round into shape as he proceeds through his collegiate career. And rolling up on your screen now, the Fitchburg State defense. Around the pastures, left to right, Matthew Smith, followed by Kelly, Matthew Kelly, I should say, and Harrell. Around the bags, left to right, Goldstein, Lore, Maxwell Kelly, and Malik. And as we mentioned, wholly on the bump, being caught by Vinny Aramo. Here's Emerson, who pretty much always plays second base and does darn well at it. He's hitting .319 coming in today. He's gotten the start in all 29 games he's played. That one's tall on him, and it's ball 1. Emerson still in the hunt for his first home run of the year. Swinging, he gives that one airtime foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Witkowski on deck.
Last time out for Holy, he went 5, gave up 2 earned, so not a bad start from him. That, of course, was on April 15th against Mass Maritime, a 4-2 loss for Fitchburg State.
Really not terrible at all. You see with a lot of these, first-year pitchers, it just takes more throwing. They just got to work it out. That one's a little bit up and away, and it's 3-1 now on Emerson.
He's only had 2 games where he's given up more than 5 runs. He gave up 5 and then 8. And other than that, he's been able to stay under 3 for the most part. So he's been fairly solid outside of those 2 occasions.
That last whack was skyscraper tall but well foul, and the count is full on Emerson. Holy, the payoff pitch. Swing, and he knocks that one right over to Lore. Bobbles it briefly, gets it over, and he is safe at first. Emerson legs it out, is able to beat the toss to first base, and BSU has their first runner of the day.
It looks like Lowray bobbled it on the transition right there, and Emerson just able to beat it. And now that's going to bring up Jay Witkowski.
They are going to give Emerson the single. And here's Witkowski hitting .356. He has also started all of the 28 games he has played, 1 on 1, and nobody gone, I should say, excuse me.
Nice sack bunt there. Scott Emerson overran the bag a little bit at second, but he'll get back no problem. Jay Witkowski drops one down the left side of the line, picked up by Holy, and he'll get that over to first base fairly quickly.
BSU clearly putting a priority on scoring first. So 1 on at second base and 1 out for Cam James, who's out in center today for BSU, hitting .330. One out. That's Witkowski with the sack bunt. Emerson with a healthy lead off the second, and that pitch is tall on James, ball 1.
They're playing off the bag a little bit at second as well. About equal distance as Emerson's lead right now. So, Holy thought about it for a second.
Swinging, that one is fouled behind him into the floor, 1-1. Cam James has 18 runs batted in so far this year. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count on him now. Emerson with a cozy lead off of second. Holy giving him the hairy eyeball, but now he'll throw. And that is outside, ball 2.
I think it would do Holy some good to kind of forget about Emerson over there at second and just focus on the task at hand with Cam James at the plate. I think he's thinking a little bit too much about the runner over there.
Certainly something that seems like it's weighing on his mind. The 2-1 is well outside.
Looks like Emerson thought about stealing for a second.
Perhaps would have been a risky move. Iramo had a good grip on that pitch outside, but it's 3-1 now on James, who has taken 10 walks so far this year. 1 out. Emerson on second, at least in name. The pitch, swing, and that one is belted right over to Lowray, who drops it. It falls out of his glove. And it is a quick little trip over to first for Cam James. Emerson advances to third.
So Lowray again bobbling the ground ball. I think that one will definitely go down as an error.
Yes, indeed. Knee 6 on Lowray. Puts James aboard, and they're at the corners with only 1 out for BSU.
So Riley Thornell, the freshman, comes to the plate, third baseman from Wareham, Massachusetts. Not too far from where we are right now. And he's been fantastic for the Bears all season.
A freshman hitting .396. Tell me about it. He has 25 runs batted in so far this year. And he could be a scoring threat if he's able to make any contact. A very good chance to drive in Emerson should he be successful. Bottom of the first here at Alumni Park. Still scoreless between these Falcons and these Bears, but one runner is 90 feet away for BSU with only 1 out.
Of course, a double play could be possible here with the runner on first base.
Fitchburg State manager Sean Manfredo wanted a word with one of the officials. He's satisfied enough to proceed back to the dugout. So James at first off the error. Emerson at third. He earned his way aboard with a single. 1 out, and now here's Thornell. Hitting cleanup with a smirk on his face for BSU.
They're going to go check on the runner over at first, but Cam James slides in there safe.
Holy was so positive on that one, he held up his fist as if to say out.
Cam James yet to be picked off this season.
Swinging that is tall, but not deep at all. A couple different gloves could set up underneath it. Lowray wants it, and he'll grab it and hold everyone. So Thornell, off of just 1 pitch, becomes the second out of the frame.
Lowray able to get some retribution for his error in the at-bat before. Now Joey Mullis comes to the plate for the Bears.
Mullis is hitting .286 walking in today. He has 24 RBIs. Only deals well outside. And it's 1-0. Getting word that a spare ball may have done some damage to a food truck outside the grounds here. Looks like Bear Bites might have received some damage. 1-0 pitch. They're going to try to get James. He rolls into second, and that will be a successful stolen base.
Had the Bear Bites food truck right near the Fitchburg dugout over there in right field. And hopefully everyone, it seems like everyone's okay in there. But surely the truck is not.
Rama wanted a piece. He could not stop James from rumbling into second. The toss over to Maxwell Kelly was just not in time. And that is a very near miss on Molis. It's 2-0 the count.
A little bit high in the zone there from Holy. So Molis draws another ball.
I stand corrected. 3-0, so they say. The other pitch was a ball as well. My mistake. Molis at the favorable end of the count with 2 in scoring position. And that is going to be low on him to put him aboard a base by balls. And the bags are loaded with 2 out. Emerson at third, James at second, and now Molis at first.
Daniel Jasmine, another freshman the Bears are very excited about, comes to the plate out of East Meadow, New York. The pitcher/outfielder. Today, of course, he's in the outfield.
Holy deals to him, and it is strike one called. Daniel Jasmine, like you said, a two-way player, at least in name, but he has done all of his damage this year with a bat in his hand. Hitting .321 coming in today. This is a guy who BSU is really thinking could be a factor in future seasons. That one's outside on him. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, you have to be excited when you get guys like him and Thornell just in their first year, and they're already hitting well over 300.
Just off top, Thornell, Jasmine, Sealander. That one's tall on him. Ball 2. Sealander, Levinson. They've got a whole lot of first-year players who are already showing so much promise. It'll be really exciting to see what happens with this unit in the years to come. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count on Jasmine. 2 out, but the bases are loaded. Holy deals, and that one is outside as well. Good read by Jasmine, and it's 3-1. A walk here would force in a run. It would be Emerson who would trot across home plate. 2 out, though. Holy would like to finish this one off. The pitch swing, and that is foul behind. A little gift for someone out in the parking lot, and the count is full for Jasmine. An extremely stressful situation, and we're only in the first inning. Bases loaded, full count, 2 outs. Holy, the ultimate payoff pitch. Runners in motion, swing, and a miss, and a much-needed strikeout to close the side. BSU strands 3. And we remain scoreless between Fitchburg State and Bridgewater State after 1.
Holy breathes a huge sigh of relief after going into that with the bases loaded, down in the count too. He gets away with 1. Malik Hills and Harrell due up next for Fitchburg.
I'm going to start reading. Now's as good a time as any. Well, folks, April is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Asian American/Pacific Islander, or AAPI, is an umbrella term which refers to many cultures from the Asian continent, including East Asia, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific Islands of Melanesia, Micronesia, and Polynesia. Across the NCAA, just 2% of student athletes identify as Asian, Native Hawaiian, or Pacific Islander out of almost 500,000 athletes. The model minority stereotype holds up Asian Americans as academic high achievers. Recent research shows that AAPI and multiracial student athletes may have a higher risk of mental health concerns as opposed to their peers because of that pressure. We stand in solidarity with our Asian, Asian American, and Pacific Islander students, staff, faculty, and community members, and denounce race-based discrimination, bias, and violence. Call it out, name it, speak against it. reported.
Please visit stopasianhate.org/resources for more.
Headed over to the second here at Alumni Park. Just one hit by each of these teams. And still scoreless. A much-needed strikeout by Holy at the end of the frame. Stranded 3 Bears base runners.
So first baseman Zachary Malik.
And in the cleanup spot, Jocelyn got a 1-2-3 inning. That one is tall, but possibly playable for James. He's trying to set up underneath it, and he catches Malik's big flyer for the first out of the frame.
Wasted no time there, swinging at the first pitch he saw, popped that one up right in right center field. Cam James just had to range over a little bit to get that. And now, Nolan Hills. Looked on the wrong side of the roster card. Nolan Hills, the infielder, sophomore out of Danvers.
He'll take strike one called. Jocelyn tripping guys up with a pretty quick pace, the 0-1. That time outside, he was trying to fool him on the outer edge, but he did not. And the count is 1-1. Hills hitting .333 so far this year.
Jocelyn looking for that outer edge again, not able to get Hills to bite.
Swinging that one is knocked right over to Molis, trying to toss it over to Jocelyn at first, and he wins the foot race for the second out. Quick little 3-1, not a play you see every day. But it'll take down Nolan Hills on this one for the second out of the frame.
That brings up Jacob Harrell, the sophomore out of Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Harrell posted in right today. Jocelyn deals to the lefty, and he fouls it behind himself immediately and well out of play. It's 1-0. Excuse me, 0-1. Harrell hitting .321 coming in. That one is tall, possibly playable. Rolling over to have a look at it is Thornell. And it falls fair out of his reach. And aboard is Harrell. Tough little blooper that just escaped the vision of Riley Thornell. And with 2 outs, it'll put Harrell on first.
And that one just a little bit over the line there and left. Kevin Lindsay made sure with the home plate official that it was in fact foul.
Toss over to first is not going to be enough to get Harrell. Our live stats say it was a single for Harrell, and a single it will be. He earned his way to first. Swinging that one is out towards center, trying to roll in for it and making the catch.
Cam James.
Quick little roll by Cam James to retire the side with a gutsy catch out in left center. And we remain scoreless after 1.5. Check this out one more time. Well, after a heck of a catch by Cam James, we start making our way over to the bottom of the second. DeAndre, Pigeon, and Lindsay, the bottom third of the order, will be the first 3 up to visit Adam Holy here in the second. Still scoreless between the Falcons and the Bears. We've seen some slick defensive plays. BSU with a couple of neat little performances, catches by Jocelyn, catches by Cam James. But Fitchburg State has matched them and are in fact out-hitting them. You see your scoreboard on the screen there. It's a 2-1 hit advantage for the Falcons, but the Falcons have also committed the only error of the game so far. So here's Nolan DeAndre in the 7th hole, DHing today for BSU. When he's on the field, often behind the dish. DeAndre hitting .209, but he can put it in play well. A Bridgewater Raynham grad. Swing, and he fouls that one well out of play off to the right. 0-1. Swing, and he keeps that one well fair out towards center. Matthew Kelly's trying to roll up underneath it, and the East Bridgewater native makes the catch for out number 1.
Pretty routine fly ball there for Kelly. Had to move back just a little bit to get under that one. Solid contact by DeAndre, but not able to get anything out of it. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I interrupted you. My bad.
That brings up the catcher, Matthew Pigeon.
So here's Pigeon hitting .326. As we mentioned, a couple of EB natives, Matthew and Maxwell Kelly, the brothers, in center and at second today, respectively, for the Falcons. That one's a near miss outside and low for ball 1 on Pigeon.
Twin brothers at that.
Out of Cardinal Spellman. Coming back to home turf, more or less. The 1-0 on Pigeon is low again, almost the exact same spot, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
One thing you got to appreciate about this Bridgewater starting 9 is the batting averages are very solid, 1 through 9, all around 320, 321 at the bottom of the order.
This is a power hitting team. That is foul out of play. Southwest. It's 2-1. Yeah, this is a team that can really slap you around. So many guys hitting above 300. Crowned by Sean Gowdy, who's getting a breather today, but who's hitting .423 coming in. The 2-1 to Pigeon is well upstairs, 3-1.
Once again, Hawley struggling to get control so far in this game. Threw a lot of balls through the first couple batters he's faced.
The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss to fill up the count. Matt Pigeon has taken 18 walks so far this year. That's second most on the team, behind only Witkowski. Must be a lefty thing. 3-2, the payoff pitch from Holy. Swing, and that's tall but well playable. Lowray is trying to set up underneath it. He's calling for it. And he will make the catch for the second out. 2 down now. Bears have had their moments, but Fitchburg State's defense starting to calm them down a little bit. Here's Lindsey. Speaking of what you were saying with all that power at the bottom of the order, this guy's hitting .372, and they've got him batting 9th. I could not even imagine.
I mean, that for a lot of teams is going to be your best hitter. And for the Bears, you know, that's like your 3rd best hitter. And they really spread out the batting averages throughout this lineup. Of course, he's closing things out in the 9-hole today.
Took that one just barely high, 2-0. This is a team with an embarrassment of riches on the offensive end for sure. 2 outs for the Bears, though. Nobody aboard. Lindsey up 2-0 in the count. Holy the pitch. Low. 3 balls and no strikes.
You know, and even better for the Bears, you got most of these guys for a little bit longer. A lot of them juniors, sophomores, freshmen.
This is a team with a very promising future. We were just talking in the last frame about all the freshmen hitting strong. The 3-0 finds the spot. Holy hits the box, and it's 3-1. Certainly the way things go in Division III baseball, any team can be magical from year to year. Swinging that one has airtime out towards right, and it is well playable for Harrell to retire the side. Well, this Fitchburg State defense, say what you will about their record on the year, but they're finding a way to keep one of the hottest hitting teams in Division III baseball quiet. Still scoreless after 2 full here at Alumni Park.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Still scoreless, but You know, we've been talking about all the batting strength on this Bridgewater State team, but the Falcons have them in a bind so far today.
The Bears have had more base runners, of course. 3 of them, one coming off a walk, one coming off that LeRae error, where he bobbled the transition, getting it over to first.
So LeRae, Goldstein, and Maxwell Kelly, Jocelyn's first 3 customers here in the top of the third, still scoreless between Fitchburg and Bridgewater. And here's the 300 hitting Devin LeRae. LeRae from Canton, Georgia. One of the further flung members of this Falcons unit. He swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it off to the right out of play. 0-1 the count on LeRae, who's hitting 300. 12 hits on the year, and he has yet to record an XBH, which I think is pretty stunning for a guy hitting 300. A 1-1 pitch upstairs, 2-1.
Yeah, quite the odd statistic, yet to get an extra base hit and hitting that well. But, you know, hits are hits, and getting on base is all that really matters.
He enjoys an OBP of 317, swings at the 3-1 pitch right over for a quick little 4-3 out, just scooped off the floor by Emerson for out number 1. One gone for the Falcons, brings up Goldstein at the end of the order.
Sophomore out of Charleston, Rhode Island, played his high school ball at Chorio Regional. He'll take strike 1.
Hitting 236 as he comes in today. A couple of strong hitters toward the bottom of this Falcons order as well. The 0-1 pitch is a near miss. Jocelyn trying to grab the same spot, but doesn't get the call, and it's 1-1. Jocelyn really working with speed. The 1-1 pitch swinging. That is tall but well playable. It's well on the infield. Lindsay trying to roll in for it, but instead he will yield to Emerson for the second out.
So back to the top of the order here for Fitchburg Falcons. Maxwell Kelly, the junior from East Bridgewater, 0 for 1 on the day so far. Swung at the first pitch he saw from Jocelyn. Jocelyn's first pitch of the game. And, of course, that was a ground out over to Kevin Lindsay.
2 gone, nobody on for the Falcons. Jocelyn, the pitch to Kelly, is outside and low, ball 1.
After getting struck with a foul ball, the Bear Bites food truck has since moved spots.
Lesson learned a little bit too late, perhaps.
Might need to call Safe Light after that.
Strike 1 called on Max Kelly, and it's 1-1. Jocelyn working, and he fouls that one out of play, Kelly does. 1-2 the count now, with 2 outs and nobody aboard. This, if my math is correct, will be Jocelyn's 30th pitch. And it's a little bit of a low bouncer. Pigeon slides over for some quick defense, not that it would have mattered. It's 2-2.
You know, with all these fouls, I got to say, I'm regretting parking right behind the field.
The 2-2 pitch outside, and the count is full. That one low, too. Thankfully, I parked closer over to Swenson. I don't think any foul balls are making it quite that distance, but you never know. Jocelyn, the payoff pitch swing, and that one is fair. They're going to say rolling over his pigeon. He's going to try to heave to first, but it is not going to be in time. Max Kelly tricks him and gets the 3rd Fitchburg State hit of the day. Legs it out over to first before anyone notices just what's going on.
So Matthew Smith due up now. The sophomore from Flanders, New Jersey. He's 1 for 1 on the day so far.
Kelly's going to get the single, and that sounds about right to me. 1 on, 2 gone. Here's Smith. That one's well outside on him. 1-0. Jocelyn trying to keep the stuff together after inducing 2 quick outs. He has a base runner now. Toss over to first. The pick-off attempt, is not going to be successful for Kelly. Yep, 1-0 the count on Smith. Kelly's in motion. That one is out to right. That's going to be a base hit, and it's going to move Kelly to at least 3rd. And he's safe there. A single for Smith moves Kelly 90 feet away from home.
Great throw from Wachowski over there and right. right through the gap with Smith. And already in motion, Kelly just got to third base very quickly, but the throw almost caught him.
Great piece of hitting by Smith and a great read on that one by Max Kelly. Runners at the corners with 2 outs for Aramo. Himself 0 for 1 today. He sent one right back over to Jocelyn as part of a catch him out, throw him out double play. He takes ball 1 well low and well outside. That's a spot where Jocelyn has unintentionally landed it for a few pitches now. Jocelyn works, swing, and that one is foul right over to the BSU dugout. Falcons trying to get a little bit of a 2-out party going and put the first run on the board here in the third. Toss over to first isn't going to be enough to take down Smith. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Aramo. Aramo, the leading hitter, 356. Takes ball 1 low. Pigeon has to scamper back up real quick to spook Smith back over to first. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Seen some aggressive base running already this inning from Fitchburg. We could potentially see Smith go in motion here, especially if Aramo gets up in the count.
Swinging, that one is tall out towards center. James is trying to roll up underneath it, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So Fitchburg State strands them at the corners, and we remain scoreless after 2.5. Nobody able to get over on the other here today.
Top 3 in the order coming up for the Bears. Scott Emerson, the only Bears hit so far, and he'll lead things off here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, Fitchburg State with 2 hits in that frame. Out hitting the Bears, but it's still anyone's game. All that matters is that box on the left, and we are still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the third here at Alumni Park. A really important tone-setter game for both of these programs. BSU, of course, every game is a game they feel like they must win. Every team is a team they feel like they must beat. This is a team that's been on a roll so far this year. But Fitchburg State's certainly still in the mix in the MASCAC. They're 13-13 on the season after losing to BSU in Fitchburg yesterday. A win today at Alumni Park. Again, the first game of our BSU baseball on BTV doubleheader. A win today here at Alumni would be a very big message sent to Bridgewater State.
Yeah, it would, especially for a team that's been so hot recently. 7-game win streak coming into things today, including that last game against Fitchburg. And, of course, a very admirable record across both the MASCAC and overall.
FSU trying to right the ship. They've lost 3 of their last 5, including, of course, as you mentioned yesterday. But MASCAC baseball, still anybody's contest. This is going to be a tightly fought conference in many respects until the end.
At BSU coming in at 9-2 in the conference following yesterday's game. And kind of the opposite, 4-7 for Fitchburg State.
Bridgewater State batting order starts over again. Emerson, Wadkowski, and James will be the first 3 customers for Holy as we kick things off in the bottom of the third. 2 goose eggs between these 2 teams so far through 2.5. And Emerson takes ball 1 into the floor. Scott Emerson 1 for 1 today. He singled in his first at-bat out of a full count.
Was able to get all the way over to third base, too, following an error and a walk. So maybe he can get things started again here in the third.
Holy K'd out Jasmine to strand him at third there back in the first. The 1-1 pitch, swing, and he fouls that one off to the right with some gusto.
That one's over on the football field.
Some action over on the football field today. I don't know if that's the spring game or what have you. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Emerson. Holy the pitch. Swing, and that one is knocked right over to Low Ray. This time gets a good grip on it and successfully makes the toss to first for the out.
Sure, Low Ray's happy with that one after bobbling 2 groundouts to start things off in the first. Or what should have been 2 groundouts to start things off in the first. And the Bears football team was practicing a little bit. Good to see James Cahoon back there on the verge of being BSU's all-time passing yards leader. Jay Wachowski reached first due to one of those Luray bobbles.
Swing, and he gives this one airtime out towards right center, but it's not as deep as you might think. A couple different gloves rolling in for it, and it will be Harrell who makes the catch for the second out.
So 2 pretty quick outs here for Holy. Hasn't seen a lot of those so far.
I'm sensing a trend. After a first inning where he got slapped around a little bit, he's on the verge of potentially a second consecutive 1-2-3. 2 outs and nobody on for the Bears here in the bottom of the third, still scoreless. Here's James, who fouls that one into the backstop 0-1. James reached on one of those low-ray errors back in the first and ended up stealing second, but got stranded there. 0-1 the count on him now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I said Wachowski reach on the air. That was James. Wachowski made the first out.
James hits nothing but air on that swing, and it's 0-2.
Yet to see much out of the Bears offense through 3.
Tall, foul out of play. Count stays 0-2. Fitchburg State's defense and frankly some real good pitching by Adam Holy, who came in here today with something to prove. He's induced a whole lot of outs, even though he has just 1 strikeout today. The 0-2 swing, and that one bounces right back over to Holy, and there's another one of those outs. He'll make the toss to first for another 1-2-3 frame. After a tough first inning of work, Adam Holy's really rounding into shape, and we remain scoreless as we move on to the 4th here at Alumni Park.
Holy only has 3 scoreless outings so far this year. Those outings coming across... I'm sorry, 4 scoreless outings. Nope, 3. I was right. 7 innings pitched. He has not gone deeper than 5 in any of his outings so far this year.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how that proceeds. Obviously having a very stellar first 3 frames of work so far today, and this only being a 7-inning game. Again, first game of our Mazcac baseball doubleheader here on BSN on BTV.
Yeah, those 2 outings where he did touch 5, he gave up 2 and 3 runs, respectively. So this game, of course, he's given up none so far.
And only 1 hit.
Yeah, and only 1 hit, so potentially, and 1 walk as well. So potentially we could see him go fairly deep into this game if he keeps things up.
Personally, I like his odds so far.
Now, he's thrown his fair share of balls, but they've been able to get some outs on some pretty loud contact so far.
Only 1 strikeout for Holy on the day, but like you said, he's inducing a whole lot of outs. It'll be the middle third of the order here to visit Jocelyn in the top of the 4th. That one comes inside on Malik, and it's ball 1. Malik, Hills, and Harrell will be the first 3 customers, the 4 through 6 spots for Jocelyn. Swing, and that one is fair. Little bouncer over to Thornell. He tries to get a grip on it and heave to first, and the play is complete for out number 1.
That's going to send down Malik, now 0 for 2 so far in this game. Nice ground ball by Thornell, able to corral things and get it over to Mullis fairly quickly.
That was Jocelyn's 40th pitch, working very efficiently today. So Nolan Hills is 0 for 1 today. Lost a foot race with Jocelyn for his first out. Swing, and he fouls that one off to the right out of play. 0-1 the count on Hills. One of 3 batters hitting .333 walking in today. That one's outside on him, 1-1. Jocelyn deals, swinging. That one is a little bouncer. Emerson gets a grip on it, and a routine play at first for out number 2. These 2 defenses just absolutely swallowing each other alive. No one's able to advance very much at all.
Harrell now to the plate, 1 for 1. He had that single a little bit earlier over near the left field line that just got out of view for Riley Thornell.
He got stranded at first base when Matthew Kelly flied out. That one's well outside on Harrell. Woof, and it's 1-0. Harrell, another strong hitter, as he takes ball 2 outside, though with less pronounced distance. Jocelyn wasting no time at all. That one's out of play, foul behind us. Hopefully no more vehicles have to suffer today. Bear Bites already took a little bit of a beating from a baseball earlier. That'll be a fun little insurance claim. Jocelyn taking maybe the most time I've seen between pitches, and now he'll step off the rubber. Well, that didn't take long. The 2-1 swing right past him, a little liner into center for a base hit. 2 singles and 2 at-bats for Jacob Harrell. And once again, with 2 outs, he reaches first base.
Matt Kelly steps into the box, 0 for 1 on the day. Back-to-back lefties here for Fitchburg State as Jocelyn goes over the pickoff attempt on Harrell.
A pickoff attempt that does not work.
Jocelyn's checked on its runners at first base quite a bit so far.
That one's well low on Matthew Kelly, and it's 1-0.
We also have seen Fitchburg send some runners. Of course, it ended up being a non-factor, as the one runner they did send came on a single.
Another toss over to first, and again unsuccessful. Yeah, that was the play where Maxwell Kelly started rolling, and he benefited from a single by Smith. Jocelyn finds the box on that one, and the count is 1-1 on Matthew Kelly. Jocelyn about to press 50 pitches soon. I believe this is 49. Rolling is Harrell, and the toss to second bounces off of somebody's glove. I believe it was Emerson.
Yeah,
either Emerson or Lindsay couldn't get a grip on it, and it is a successful trip to second base for Harrell.
Yeah, the throw from Pigeon a little bit too far to Kevin Lindsay's left. Scott Emerson did go in the outfield to corral it. Actually ended up being taken by Cam James.
We'll figure out whether that's... They're going to give him the steal. He earns second base, Harrell does, and that is a near miss for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Matthew Kelly. I believe that was number 50 for Jocelyn. Here's 51. Swinging that one is right over to Thornell, who will ignore Harrell and just make the toss to first for out number 3. Neither of these teams is very interested in letting the other score today. 2 big old zeros on the board. Falcons out-hitting Bridgewater State, but it's not doing much, and we are still scoreless after 3.5 here at Alumni Park.
The Bears have a very nice mix of righties and lefties in their order, actually alternating every other batter, starting with Emerson, the righty, and only 2 lefties in that entire order for Fitchburg State.
And despite all that, Fitchburg finding a way to get over on them in the hits department. And certainly the defense has been quite outstanding. Bridgewater State has gotten off just 1 hit all day. A couple of base runners, but most of them have not earned their way with their bats. So it'll be the middle third of the BSU order coming to visit Adam Holy as we head to the bottom of the 4th. That's Thornell, Molis, and Jasmine, who combined are 0 for 2 with a walk. Adam Holy, as we mentioned, came in with some numbers that indicated something to prove. A first-year pitcher with some stats that are a little bit inflated, but he has thrown some tremendous baseball so far today.
15 walks, 19 strikeouts on the season for him. Only given up 1 home run. 18 earned in 18.1 innings. 27 runs in total.
But you would never know any of it from the game he's throwing today. Here's Thornell, who takes ball 1. That one just escapes the glove of Iramo. Finds the spot, 1 ball and 1 strike on Thornell. It's been a little bit of a less efficient game, though, for Holy. He's going to be throwing pitch number 48 here. And it is fouled for strike 2. So having to throw at a little bit of a higher clip than Jocelyn has so far today, but the proof is in the pudding with these stats that he's given up so far. That is to say, almost nothing. The 1-2 to Thornell, swinging that is tall but well playable. Lowray calling for it, and he'll make the catch for the out.
Lowray's seen a lot of action so far over there at short.
A couple of initial troubles, including the only error by either team so far today, but since then, Devin Lowray has proven his worth over at short. Here's Molis, who took a walk in his first at-bat back in the first. Big swing and a big miss. He chased outside, and he regrets it now. That was the 50th pitch for Holy, and it's 0-1 on Molis. Holy wasting no time. The pitch, that one was outside, trying to fool him again, but he didn't bite. 1-1. The way these two guys are working, you'd think there was a pitch clock here, too. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that one is a little higher, but also away. 2-1 now on Molis.
I don't know how much more we'll see of Holy given his pitch count so far.
I would imagine at least another frame if he's able to escape without serious damage, but he offers ball 3 well outside to Molis. That was number 53. Don't know.
He's still fairly efficient, but he hasn't gone past 5 all year as Molis fouls that one off. Full count now.
This could be the day that changes, especially being a shortened game, as part of our doubleheader here on BSN on BTV. This is game 1. You'll see game 2 right here a little bit later. Full count on Molis. Holy, the payoff pitch swing, and that one is very well playable, but it could fall right in front, and it does. Little too far outside the wheelhouse of Smith, and it's a single for Molis.
So finally another hit with for the Bears, something we haven't seen since Scott Emerson in the bottom of the first.
First at bat, Emerson singled, and no Bear batter has recorded a hit since then, although a couple have reached. Molis, in fact, becomes the first Bear to reach base since the first. So here's Jasmine. Takes that one well high and well away, ball 1. Daniel Jasmine struck out in his first at-bat, looking to change that. Certainly has the capacity to do so.
He's stranded 3 with his strikeout.
1 on, 1 gone for him. Here in the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless. Toss over to first is not going to be enough to get Molis. 1-0 the count on Jasmine, and he awaits the next shot from Holy. The pitch, swinging, he fouls that one up the first base line. 1-1. Jasmine struck out of a full count, no less. He certainly got plate discipline, but just a momentary struggle on that one. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count on him now. Holy deals, swing, and that one is out towards center. Well playable. A couple different gloves are rolling in for it, and it will be Smith who makes the catch for the second out of the side.
And he was in a tough position in his first at-bat. Full base, or loaded bases, full count, 2 outs.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be stressful for any hitter.
That's a lot to pin on a freshman, even a freshman who hits as well as he does. So 2 out and 1 aboard for Nolan DeAndrade, who flied out into the glove of Matthew Kelly out in center, his first time up.
Nolan DeAndrade sees time as a catcher today, DHing for the Bears. A freshman out of Bridgewater.
BR grad. Couple of locals suiting up for both of these units today. He awaits his first pitch of the at-bat from Holy. The toss over was not good enough to get Molis. Here is that pitch, and it is well tall. 1-0. Iramo threatened Molis over at first, but didn't bother. He got the message across. This will be pitch number 60, I believe, for Adam Holy. The 1-0. Low, bouncer, saved by Aramo, 2-0. DeAndre, as I mentioned earlier, not a power hitter, but he can put it in play and move guys along really well when he needs to. The 2-0 pitch. Takes that one low and away, ball 3. He's also showing some good pitch vision. 3-zip the count on him right now.
Mullis with a modest lead over there at first. And DeAndre takes strike 1.
Holley could certainly use it. Keep up a hot streak that has followed him through a couple of frames.
Definitely like DeAndre taking that pitch up in the count.
Swinging that one is knocked right over to Lowray, who makes a very quick little slide and scoops it over to Maxwell Kelly at second to force out Mullis and retire the side. A couple of initial miscues, but ever since then, Devin Lowray has been on 10. And his heads-up defensive play keeps it scoreless as we head to inning number 5 here at Alumni Park.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Well, if you're a fan of scoreless baseball, boy, do I have a show for you. 2 big goose eggs between the Fitchburg State Falcons and your BSU Bears as we head to frame number 5 here at Alumni Park. The first game of our MASCAC baseball doubleheader here on the Bears Sports Network on BTV.
Larayan now made the final out of the 4th inning.
Clubs one foul. That was way inside on him, too. That would have been ball 1 easily, but he choked up on it. 0-1 the count on Lowray now. He chases that one outside and misses for strike 2.
Couple quick strikes here for Jocelyn on Lowray.
This will be pitch number 55 for Jocelyn. Here it is. And that's a near miss. He wanted to close him out looking, but could not. And the count is 1-2 on Devin Lowray.
Just high in the zone on that last pitch.
The 1-2 pitch. That one a bouncer, well outside anyhow. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lowray 0 for 1 today. Made contact, but was put out. Swing and he fouls that one.
Stays alive, 2-2 count now.
Devin Lowray hitting 300 coming in with no extra base hits. We mentioned that earlier. It's a funky little stat, and he chases one outside. It's going to be a dropped strike 3, but the toss to first with plenty of time for out number 1.
And with that, Liam Goldstein steps into the box.
The third baseman, number 9.
Righty third baseman.
1 gone, nobody on for Goldstein.
0 for 1 to start things off.
Takes strike 1 called. I think that was the pitch that Jocelyn wanted to give Lowray earlier. Outside for ball 1. That was pitch number 60 for Jocelyn. Wasting no time at all. Pulls a big swing and a miss for strike 2 out of Goldstein. This guy works like his pitch clock is 10 seconds. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Goldstein. There's the throw, and it's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just barely low from Jocelyn there, evening things out at 2-2.
Came inside on him. They're going to ring him up. That looked like it was pretty inside, but they ring up Liam Goldstein for out number 2. And Matt Jocelyn posts his second strikeout of the day, his second strikeout of the inning.
Maxwell Kelly.
Well, that was certainly a call that the umpire made. He definitely made the call. You cannot argue that. It's 1-0 on Maxwell Kelly.
He most definitely did. Definitely, you know, I'd say that's less of a strike than the ball he called on LeRae. But that's just me, as Max Kelly 1 for 2 so far today as he starts things off with a 1-1 count.
Make that 1-2. 2 out, nobody aboard for the Falcons. Jocelyn, the quick pitch, swing and a miss. And that one was beyond dispute. 3 straight strikeouts give Matt Jocelyn yet another scoreless inning. And he did not even need a strike zone as wide as the River Charles to keep it all goose eggs here at Alumni Park.
Pigeon, Lindsay, and Emerson coming up for the Bears as we get you a replay of Matt Jocelyn's strikeout. Was able to get Max Kelly to fan on that one. Kelly now 1 for 3 on the night, or the afternoon.
There's a reason this cat only has a .218 batting average against, and he's proving it so far today, but the Falcons continue to out-hit the Bears 5-2, and that seems to be the only stat that matters here because nobody can get across home plate. Zeros up and down here at Alumni Park through 4.5. Well, Adam Holy came into today's game with some tough numbers, but he has acquitted himself really well through 4. And as we head to the bottom of the 5th, he seeks to continue the hot streak.
Sure, he's more than thrilled to cut down his ERA today.
And boy, has he. Just 2 hits, no runs. But then again, his Falcons haven't scored a single run either. Pigeon shows bunt to start things off. Holy tries to race over and make the heave, and it does not work. A bunt single for Matt Pigeon gets things started here in the 5th. One on, nobody gone. That was a gutsy move for Pigeon, but he legged it out and it worked.
So Holy came in with an 8.84. Now he's got that down to a 7.36.
It's amazing what one really great game can do for your numbers. One on, nobody gone for Lindsay, who flied out to right. He's going to show bunt as well. That one will bounce over to Holy, and this time the toss to first is in time.
Not before Pigeon can get over to second, bringing up Scott Emerson.
Sack bunt makes Lindsay victim number 1 here in the inning.
Scott Emerson 1 for 2 on the night. I keep saying night, it's 1 o'clock. So I don't know what's with that. But Scott Emerson.
Night in a general sense.
Yeah. Yeah. 1 for 2, like I said, had the single in the first inning.
1 gone, but 1 at second for Emerson. And that's a near miss from Holy for ball 1. Pigeon led things off with the bunt single. Got moved along to second by Lindsay's sacrifice bunt, and now here we are. 1-0 on Emerson. Holy the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner at second. And he's wearing 2 ones. Holy, the 1-1 pitch to Emerson. Another swing, another miss, and that is strike 2.
Emerson steps out of the box for a second to collect himself after waving at that one.
Emerson, not a crazy strikeout heavy guy. Swinging, he belts that one right past Lowray. He dove for it, and it was not enough. And this could be the first run of the day coming in to score. Pigeon rounds third, and he will be across with all the time in the world to put the Bears on the board first, at last, in the 5th.
So Scott Emerson with an RBI single, finally breaking things open here in the bottom of the 5th.
If scoring 1 run can be called breaking things open.
He at least made a somewhat of a dent.
A lead is a lead, and BSU with a 1-0 advantage over the Falcons now here in the 5th. Of a 7-inning game, no less.
Kowski 0 for 2.
Emerson's in motion, the heave over to second, and that escapes the glove of Lowray.
Nice.
Emerson will be safe at second.
Nice job by Max Kelly not letting that thing get into center field. Nearly could have been another base for Scott Emerson. As you can see, the ball bounces right in front of Lowray, not able to pick it, but Kelly able to recover and hold Emerson to just one base.
The pitch was strike one on Witkowski. He belts that one out towards center. Matthew Kelly trying to set up underneath it. Instead, it will be Harrell, but that will move Emerson over to third. So 2 outs, but another runner 90 feet away for BSU.
Cam James now coming in 0 for 2.
The center fielder, number 3, Cam James.
The official word for the as a matter of fact, I should say, it looks like they're going to give Emerson the stolen base at second. Bounced off of Lowray's glove, but they give him the steal. A quick little belter out to left by James, and that's an RBI single, or he wants a double. He keeps on rolling over to second, and it's an RBI double for Cam James to bring Emerson home and make this a 2-0 game.
So Riley Thornell to the plate now, 0 for 2.
The third baseman, number 33, Riley.
One of the more prolific hitters in this Bears starting 9.
Bears trying to orchestrate a 2-out party. They have posted the first 2 runs of the game by either side here in the 5th, and it's 2-zip Bridgewater. Strike one called on Thornell, who's 0 for 2 coming into this inning. 2 gone, 1 aboard at second, and 2 Bear base runners have made it across home plate. The 0-1 pitch to Thornell is outside from Holy, and it's 1-1. Well, Adam Holy certainly has had a great day coming in to this inning. The 1-1 pitch. Swing, and he gives that one airtime out towards right, but Harrell is going to post underneath it and make the catch to retire the side, but not before Bridgewater State draws first blood. At long last, some scoring, and it is 2-0 Bears after 5 here at Alumni Park. And a very interesting stat here, Bridgewater State finally catching up to the Falcons in the hit department, 5 each now, but BSU has turned those into 2 runs scored. This was a game I thought would never end. We could have taken this one to a full 8 or 9 the way it was looking through the first few frames.
Surely did not look promising on the offensive end for either team.
No. It'll be the Falcons' turn to respond as we head to the top of the 6th. Bears with a 2-zip lead, but this is a Falcons unit with some strong hitters themselves. Obviously, they'd been out-hitting the Bears through much of this game, and I certainly would not discount them, especially where this game hasn't exactly been blown open.
Yeah, for sure. Still some good baseball left to be played. No movement in the bullpen from either team yet.
Not a surprise. Both of these pitchers have thrown pretty tremendous games so far today. Matt Pidgeon working with only 67 pitches thrown so far. And that number Matt Pidgeon's the catcher. Matt Jocelyn's the man on the mound. And Matt Jocelyn, has thrown only 67 pitches so far. Just 75 for Adam Holy.
Looks like I might have spoken too soon. Someone's in there tossing around in the Fitchburg State bullpen.
Some very casual work going on in the FSU pen.
Yeah,
Smith.
Sorry.
I was going to say Smith, Iramo, and Malik, the first 3 visitors for Jocelyn, and Smith will take strike 1 call.
You know, Holy's done a great job so far, getting up a little bit in the pitch count, so I'm not surprised they want to have someone stretch and toss a little bit, just in case things kind of escalate in the bottom of the 6th.
By no means a testament to the quality of his game. He's done very well this afternoon. So too is Jocelyn. Swinging that one is belted right over to Lindsay. A little bouncer. He'll make the toss to first for out number 1 to retire Smith. That was pitch number 70 for Matt Jocelyn. Speaking of getting up in the count, especially in a 7-inning game. So 1 gone and nobody on for the Falcons here in the top of the 6th. The Bears with a 2-0 lead. after a very offensively successful 5th inning. Here's Iramo, who's 0 for 2. Takes strike 1 called.
I'm sure neither of these teams are too eager to look to the bullpen, especially being a doubleheader.
Swing, and that one is out towards center. Setting up underneath it is James, and he'll make the catch to sit down Iramo for the 2nd out.
Routine fly ball right here, right to Cam James. 2nd out of the inning, and surely helping out Matt Jocelyn's pitch count a little bit. That moves Iramo to 0 for 3 for the night. Zach Malik comes to the plate, 0 for 2.
Jocelyn, the first pitch to Malik. He fouls it behind himself, 0-1. Matt Jocelyn had 3 strikeouts and 3 at-bats back in the 5th, and he would like to post his 2nd consecutive 1-2-3 inning right here. The 0-1 pitch to Malik. Outside, nearly hit soil. May have hit soil. Pigeon grabbed it. And it's 1-1.
Malik, another guy listed here as a two-way player, right-handed pitcher / infielder. Today posted at first, like you said, and he fans at that one for strike 2.
1 ball and 2 strikes, and Matt Pigeon is very close to that 1-2-3 frame. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and he gets it. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Matt Jocelyn, trying to keep the Falcons quiet and keep Bridgewater State in front. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, BSU looking to build on a 2-0 lead over Fitchburg State.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well.
But candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
Just an inning and a half left in regulation here in Game 1 of our Mazcac baseball doubleheader here on the Bears Sports Network on BTV. Bridgewater State with a 2-0 advantage over the Fitchburg State Falcons. After an initial scoring drought, BSU able to bring a couple runners home in the 5th, and they'll seek to build on that advantage here in inning number 6. Molis, Jasmine, and DeAndre, the first 3 batters up to face Adam Holy here in the bottom of the 6th.
Molis 1 for 1 so far, had that walk early in the 1st inning, as well as his base hit.
Swing, and that one's a lazy little bouncer. Routine 5-3 play for Goldstein, and that's out number 1.
So in comes Daniel Jasmine, 0 for 2 so far on the night.
A strikeout and a fly out to left. He's made some contact, but it just keeps landing in gloves. 1 out, nobody aboard for the Bears here in the 6th, but Bridgewater State with a 2-0 lead. Holy deal swing, and that one has airtime out towards right center.
Right in the gap.
Not gone, but it's got some distance. Rumbles over to the warning track.
He's got
Jasmine
3.
is thinking 3 bases. And that is exactly where he'll stay.
Stand-up triple for Daniel Jasmine. His first hit of the night. The afternoon. I said night again.
Same idea. Doesn't really matter.
Still
I don't think
his first hit.
I don't think he cares much about the terminology. He's happy to have an extra base hit after a couple of struggle at-bats. But sure enough, he powers his way over to third. And with only 1 out, BSU has their potential 3rd run of the game 90 feet away.
A runner in scoring position here for Nolan DeAndre.
We'll actually get a pinch hitter. Here's Sealander, one of those aforementioned power-hitting freshmen. In a pinch hit in DeAndre's spot. Josh Sealander comes in hitting .372. When you have so many freshmen on this team who are hitting north of 300, that's really a gift. What a tremendous gift. This program has stuff to build on for years to come on the offensive end, if you ask me.
Gotta say, I find his choice of walk-up song kind of interesting. 2001 A Space Odyssey theme song.
Tall but playable. Couple different gloves are looking for it. But it falls foul.
Looks like that one might have bounced out of the glove of Maxwell Kelly.
He ended up eating grass on that one, but no harm done as it fell foul anyway. Thankfully back on his feet real quickly. Glad to see Maxwell Kelly is up and good.
That stretch and toss has got a little bit more serious in Fitchburg's bullpen. They got 2 pitchers out there now, one of them a side armor. Don't see too much of that in baseball anymore.
Swing, and that's a lazy little bouncer. Maxwell Kelly will make the play at first and successfully hold Jasmine at third. So out number 2, and Bridgewater State, with a man 90 feet away, is, however, down to their last out of the inning. This will, I believe, be Holy's 80th pitch, probably a big contributor as to why they've got action going on in the bullpen over here, as you see. Some of it perhaps not with a baseball. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, a lot of teams like to warm up with footballs. Did some of that in high school. And it looks like that was number 19, Pete Jocelyn, the freshman left-handed pitcher out of Holden, Massachusetts, Wachusett regional graduate, is one of those arms.
No relation to Matt Jocelyn, different spelling, different town. That one comes way inside. Jasmine trying to steal home, and it doesn't work. He is caught stealing home. Some risky business that does not pay off, and the Falcons secure out number 3 to retire the side. Jasmine really thought that the wild pitch, the bouncer that got away from Aramo, was going to be enough, but he managed to scoop it right back over to Holy. Heads-up play by the Fitchburg State battery, and Dan Jasmine pays for his hubris without number 3.
Vincent Aramo, good job of corralling that one. Still, whoever the sidearm reliever they got going in Fitchburg has a hoodie on, cannot see his jersey number. All quiet in the Bridgewater bullpen still. Looks like Matt Jocelyn's going to be closing things out here as he's still on the mound.
Bears with a 2-0 lead. If Matt Jocelyn can put away successfully 3 Fitchburg State hitters without allowing 2 or more runs, BSU will secure game 1 of this doubleheader. And Bridgewater State finally, this is an interesting stat, out hitting the Falcons. They were behind for so much of the game. Then even after the initial run deluge, it was still a 5-5 game in terms of hits. But now BSU with 6 hits compared to just 5 for the Falcons. A very interesting little tidbit.
For those interested, I believe we'll be back at 2 o'clock for the second game of this doubleheader.
Something to that effect. It's usually about 15 or 20-minute gap. We'll get the official word for you as we get it. You folks know as much as we do in that department. What we all know is that it's 2-0 BSU as we head to the 7th inning of this 7-inning game. Hills, Harrell, and Matthew Kelly will be the first 3 visitors for Matt Jocelyn, who is looking to post his 7th complete game of the year. Jocelyn deals to Hills, swinging, he fouls it behind himself into the fence, 0-1.
Hills hitless so far today. Jesus.
Same idea. 0 for 2 so far today. He gives that one airtime, but it's going to be foul out of play off to the right.
That one into the Fitchburg bullpen. Their bullpen catcher actually makes a nice play out there, catching that.
0-2, the count on Hills. Clearly looking for some home run force. Jocelyn the pitch. Finds the spot, and Hills is rung up.
Hills not happy with that one.
Strikeout number 5 for Matt Jocelyn. He's posted all of them in the last 3 innings. Here's Harrell, who's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles, and he has a stolen base as well. Takes ball 1 outside. Harrell maybe the most successful Fitchburg State hitter of the afternoon so far. He gives that one airtime out towards left center, and that is going to fall for at least 1 base and maybe more. He is tossed off the batting helmet, and he is rolling. He's thinking 3 bags, and he's thinking correctly. Slides in for a triple.
Didn't even have to slide right there. He gets into third cleanly.
Slide or no slide, Jacob Harrell is 90 feet away from home plate. And with only 1 out, a real opportunity for Fitchburg State to get on the board here in the 7th. Here's Matthew Kelly, himself 0 for 2 today. 1 out, but a runner at third for the Falcons, and things suddenly look much more promising. Strike one called on Kelly, though. 0-1 the count. Jocelyn deals, swing and a miss for strike two. It's dropped initially by Pigeon, but strike two is confirmed. Oh, no, they're going to say, yeah, that's strike two. Our scoreboard folks here initially threw up ball one, but that didn't look right. That was too big a swing and a miss. Swing, and that one's a bouncer. Fair. Thornell drops it out of his glove and is not going to bother with the play. That'll be an E5 for certain. But no matter how you slice it, runners at the corners with only 1 out for Fitchburg State. Right here, Thornell trying to get a grip on it. It just hits the edge of his webbing, and he realizes he hasn't got a play there. He's able to hold Harrell at third, however. So runners at first and third for Fitchburg State with only 1 out, trying to get on the board here in the 7th and at least tie this thing back up. Here's Lorray.
No, we got a pinch hitter here.
Oh, I stand corrected. You're right.
Fitchburg State. That's number 15, Michael Cooper, the infielder out of Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Fitchburg native here.
Hitting .290. Just .010 beneath Devin Lowray, a suitable replacement in the hitting department. He's got runners at the corners, and he will take ball one. Cooper has 6 runs batted in on the year. Another toss over to first. And it will not be able to get Matthew Kelly.
And Kelly takes a strike, check swing, doesn't matter, strike anyway.
So Cooper 1-1 in the count now. Only 1 out, though. Runners at third and first. Jocelyn sizing him up. Here's the pitch. That one's a bouncer. It's very, very wild. Harrell's going to try his luck, and he's lucky indeed. And the Falcons are on the board here in the 7th. It's 2-1, Bridgewater State with the advantage, but the Falcons still have life here in frame number 7.
Yeah, that pitch just a little bit too far over to Pigeon's right and in the dirt. Gets away from him, and Harrell just cleanly gets past home plate.
Matthew Kelly advances to second on the same play.
It's 3-1 now. That one was inside.
Cooper could become the 3rd Falcon base runner in 3 at-bats.
Action for the Bears in the pen.
Not entirely certain who. We'll get a better read on it for you sooner rather than later. It's a full count on Cooper.
Looks like that's Tyler Da Silva Medeiros, the senior pitcher out of Taunton, Massachusetts.
Ball 4 is low and away, and it's a base by balls for Cooper. One Falcons run has already come across home plate here in the inning. They're on the board, trimming the Bridgewater State lead to just 1.
We got another pinch hitter here. We got a pinch runner and a pitch hitter here, actually. Greg Reed steps in, the sophomore out of Saugus, Mass. He'll step in as the pinch hitter, and it looks like, can't tell the jersey number. I think it's Joseph DeCrosta, the sophomore infielder from Wallingford, Connecticut.
So DeCrosta becomes a pinch runner for the pinch hitter. And as you mentioned, Reed, who's hitting .333. There's somebody I'd like pinch hitting for me. So he'll step in. 2 runners aboard, only 1 out, and Fitchburg is just 1 run away from tying this up.
Look for some loud contact into the outfield here. Reed takes strike 1.
Jocelyn, who has thrown some excellent baseball all day, finally finds himself in a much riskier position. 2 aboard, including 1 in scoring position. Did he go on the swing? They're going to say he did not. Reed holds up, and it's 1-1.
Infield official had to think about that one for a little bit. We'll get you the replay. That was close.
That's a toss-up. That's a toss-up.
You know, I could see that one going either way.
That one he definitely held up, and wisely so. 2 balls and 1 strike on Greg Reed. A walk here would load the bases.
Infielders playing a little bit back. If you look at Molis.
Foul out of play, 2-2. Greg Reed has just 1 run batted in so far this year. He's 1 for 3 on the year in the batter's box. A 2-2. Did he go around on that one?
And
yes, he did.
up.
And a much-needed strikeout for the second out of the side. Gives the Bears a little shot of hope here in the 7th.
So now with that, we get Matthew Kelly.
Max Kelly 1 for 3
Max
today.
Kelly.
It's all good. Matthew Kelly is at second base right now. Maxwell Kelly takes strike 1 called.
So looking to drive his twin brother home here for Fitchburg.
We're going to try to keep these names straight, I promise. These guys deserve the respect. So Matthew Kelly is at second base. At first is DeCrosta pinch running, and that is strike 2. Maxwell Kelly swung through that. And the Falcons are down potentially to their last strike of game 1.
Action stopped in both bullpens here with 1 strike remaining for Jocelyn.
0-2 the count on Max Kelly. Swing, and that one is foul up the first base line.
Over in front of Fitchburg's bullpen.
Fellow jumping out for it is Joseph Hartnett. Count stays 0-2 on Max Kelly. Matthew Kelly at second. DeCrosta, the pinch runner, at first. 0-2 the count. Jocelyn trying to sew this one up. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. Max Kelly with a good read there, and it's 1-2. Jocelyn the pitch. Finds the spot. They ring up Maxwell Kelly. And the 7th complete game of the year for Matt Jocelyn is a win. Your final score in game 1 of this doubleheader: Bears 2, Falcons 1. Bears with another solid Mazcac victory, preventing a revenge game, but the Falcons will seek exactly that in game 2 of our doubleheader just a little bit later here on the Bears Sports Network on BTV. We'll be back with you in just a little while for game 2 of that set. Again, your final score in game 1, though: Bears 2, Falcons 1. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back with you in just a little bit here on BSN. I'm Matt Donahue.
And I'm Luke Mansfield.
Keep it locked right here for game 2 around 2 o'clock. And remember until then that every day is a great day to be a Bear.